Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426 and today we have the review of the HG Setsuro from the Kyokai Senki series. Now once again, this specific unit wasn't really seen in the Kyokai Senki series anime. This is basically one of those side story stuff like the Byakuchi as well. So once again, this review will be a simple review because once again I have reviewed the Johan before, so obviously most of the form factor and articulation is going to be pretty much identical, but I will be going over what changes has been made as well. And this might be one of the last few Kyokai Senki kits that I might be reviewing. Now I am aware Bandai did announce a few more kits for the Kyokai Senki line, but most of them are either color variants or just pretty much existing variants with different equipment. Now with the Byakuchi was the more of the construction type equipment, that might be something I might try out, but once again, if I do that, that's going to be my third Byakuchi kit, so you kind of know what the situation I'm going in. But still, it really depends on what kits will be announced, because I've only seen two in terms of the actual units, but apparently there are a few more that needs to be announced, so I'm just waiting for more info at this point. Alright, so the Setsuro is basically a modified Johan. Obviously it's been modified, or its equipment has been changed to, you know, survive or be used in a very specific situation going on here. So yeah, let's get on to the review. So let me just take it off the stand and let's see what you get from the kit. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the modified Johan, the Setsuro as well. So you can see the color scheme has been changed into a more Arctic color region. And one of the noticeable changes would be the feet, shoulder, and the top of the grappling hook guns. If there's a specific name, these are called the winch unit. Yeah, actually that's more of a simple name than I expected, but yeah, the winch unit. And yeah, let's see what we get for other stuff. So number one, as usual, you get the regular stuff. So you do still get the open style hands, nothing too special here, so that's nothing new. Now, because being the winch units or grappling hooks, you obviously get some wires for the wire actions, and then for the hooks or winches, you actually get an open version. So this is when you use it with the wires. But you might be wondering, you can also use this in different ways. So number one, you can actually take the end tip off here and then replace it with the one that's already attached here. So for example, you can take this part off and then attach it like this. So if you want to have like some sort of an action pose or some sort of specific pose where he's ready to fire the winches, you can also do that as well. So really up to your preferences. Alright, so let me get that back on there. There we go. So once again, as much as I love the wire action concept for model kits, it's just that I really don't like the wires that they give you here. So these they're easy to bend, but once again, they're really difficult to get a clean look on them. Even with the natural bend look, you want to make it look like this, but once again, it opens up. So you need to like force bend it, and then it's gonna lose like that clean factor form. So that's always the issues I have here. And you also get the stickers. So you get one sticker for the Mono Eye, and then two more stickers for the gun. So that's nothing too special. You might be wondering where the gun is. So unlike the previous units, you can actually store the gun onto the back skirt here. Although I do say storage, but it's pretty much lying on there. It doesn't really click in, so that might be a bit of a downside to some people, but still it works. If it works, it works. Alright, so that is what you're supposed to get for most of this guy, but you might be wondering, can I still make the original Johan, but in this color? And if that is your question, the answer is yes, because you do get all the basic stuff. So number one, you get the original shoulder armor, but of course in the matching colors here. I actually built a few pieces myself. Now, and then you might have noticed the shoulders are missing, are very simple. The shoulder joints are just like this, so there's no way to attach the actual shoulder joint, shoulder armor. The good part is that one of the spare parts actually has that specific joint to attach the shoulder armor here. So yes, you can attach the shoulder armor. And now the front skirt, yeah, once again, the manual will give you a choice whether to make the original Johan or the Setsuro variant. So this is more of an option, but even so, if you go with the Setsuro, you still have that port there, so you can just slap it on there if you want to do so. And then for the feet, now those feet are actually like, you know, those ski type feet as well, and the units call them leg sleds. So yeah, if you think this is a little bit too goofy, I was hoping that they would give you just the original feet and then you would attach more parts to it, but apparently no, you have to choose among them. So once again, if you want to have the original feet, you can swap them out if you want to do so. Although you need to take off, you have to take off the entire ball joint off from the unit, and then you have to swap parts as well. So that is a downside, but it still works. Sorry for that noise. My mic is hitting my setup. Sorry about that. And then we still get the original side skirts if you want to do so. So that's really up to you. And if you're a guy who wants to have more weapons, they do give you these parts that are supposed to go inside the chest area or on the side chest area. So this time they're closed up. So if you want to have more weapons, you can always attach these as well. Alright, so that's that. So before we go into anything, let's go over the comparisons here. So here we have the original Johan. Once again, I really love these kits. Now the anime, I'm going to admit that wasn't the best anime, but their kits were very well made, and respectfully, so yeah. So you can see the size, other than the color factor, most of their form factor, the build frame is pretty much identical. It's just like these small changes. No shoulder armor, take off the front skirt, and then side skirt has been changed with these, which I will explain what they are. And then the feet has been changed, and then obviously we have more equipment on the top, so that's that. And then looking at the back section right over here, pretty much identical, but you do have more attachments onto the back skirt, so you're not missing out too much. So this was announced together with the Byakushi FSG colors, basically the brown and green version of that. Alright, so let's go over some parts. Let's see, let's start with the winches. So once again, these parts are, they clip onto the top section here very nicely, although taking them off might be tricky once they're in. But with this, you do get a little bit of articulating. You can get slightly up and down movement going on here, so that's pretty much well done. And then you can take it off, and this is where you connect the wire. And then to connect the wire, you need to have another joint here. So keep in mind that if you want to attach this, you have to have that joint as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Very simple. Even the winch, the build frame is very simple for this guy, so nothing can go wrong. Other than the main body, it's pretty much identical, no changes. You can still move the mono-wise if you want to do so. Now, once again, I'm not really too sure why this guy required no shoulder armor. Maybe it's because he has to climb mountains, or he just needs to move his arms more, rapidly compared to a regular Johan. Because once again, this guy was never seen in the anime as well. So, but because of this, there are some good stuff, because without the shoulder armor, you can still go 360 with no problems. Going to the side, no problem, and you can go up because using the middle joint right over here. This was the part I was talking about for the guns, where the Johan has guns. This is closed off, but if you want to attach, you can do more. So that's that. You can go upwards as well. Going forward and backward entirely is possible as well. And let's see, yeah, so that's that. And going 360 on the arm itself is possible. Bend wise, you get your normal bend as well. So hands are your typical ball joint hands. So once again, even so, without the shoulder arm, I don't think it's going to get too much hindered, but once again, who knows. And then, other than that, the feet, now despite the longer feet going on here, there's no much changes in terms of articulation here. So if you want to do some sort of ski pose, I think you can pull it off with this guy. Now, I haven't skied in a long time, so I kind of forgot how, ski at this point. But still, I assume some people will try to, pull off some funny poses with this. Now, the other equipments, like this part on the side skirts, these things on the back skirt, what they're supposed to be are, number one, these ones are supposed to be spare grenade launchers for the gun. So, for those who don't know, on the gun here, they have a grenade launcher on the bottom. So these are spare ammo for the grenade launcher. And these ones on the back, now at first I thought these were supposed to be like spare wires for the winch unit, but no, these are actually magazines. There's 4 magazines. Now this is a single mold, so they're not separated, but these are spare magazines for the gun. So I thought that was a pretty nice detail going on there. And other than that, that is pretty much it. So once again, if you have bought the Johan before, you're not missing out much. It's pretty much a variant. It's more of like an Arctic variant, climbing mountains or going down mountains. So once again, if you don't get this guy, or if you already have a Johan, it might not be too necessary. But if you're looking for like these specific, Arctic regions or like variants or specific equipment like this winches, then it might be fun to try it out. But once again, I wouldn't say this is a necessary item for everybody. Anyway, that was pretty much it for the review. This was the HG Setsuro. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews on, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.